All right, guys, so we worked the jab, we worked your rear straight, we worked your hook, we showed you how to throw them in combination. Now we're going to focus on the roundhouse. Now, the roundhouse, there's two ways of hitting, two areas that you would use to hit with, okay? One of them is if you're kicking low, maybe to the leg or the calf or the knee, you're going to hit with the shin bone, with the lower part of the shin. It's one of the harder parts. It's a lot harder than the actual instep. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you hit with that. If you're kicking maybe to the ribs, to the hip, to the thigh, to the knee, to the side of the shin bone, and that's going to work a lot better for you. But now, if I were to reach to the head in a street fight, which I wouldn't recommend, but it's good to be able to do it. It's good to be able to kick high just in case you need to. It just makes you a better athlete if you can, better martial artist. So what normally you would reach with would be your instep, okay? So we're going to work on both. I'm going to use Isai to practice the low kick. I'm going to hold a pad for him. He's going to show you what it's like to hit the thigh, maybe the rib area, again, to all the way down to the side of the leg, or the lower part of the leg. And this is what we're going to focus on. Actually, what I want him to do is to step out. I want Isai to step out, and I want him to stand left side or right side, whichever you prefer. Now, what he's going to do is actually face the camera, and what you're going to do is show him the steps. You want to talk about the steps? Tell him what you're going to do, how you step out to the left. Explain the kick flow.
So I can go ahead and throw that kick. Am I kicking high?
You're going to kick with the rear leg too low.
Okay, so what I can do is I can go ahead and do my little cheek step. My cheek step would be basically me taking a small step out with my lead leg. So my lead leg would take a step towards the outside, and then I'd follow through and kick with my rear leg. Or I could pivot on the way over. Those are two ways I can go ahead and do it. It's kind of up to you. Again, if you're a little faster, more flexible, I would go ahead and throw the pivot. If you aren't, I would go ahead and practice with that cheek step. Step out. Boom.
Helps you a lot when you already have your knee turned. And that, first of all, it's going to allow you with better balance and more power. And secondly, it's going to keep you from injuring your knee. Because if you try to kick with your foot in this position, that's going to put a lot of pressure on your knee. That's what you don't want. That's the reason he's telling you that if you're a beginner, you're not very flexible, then you would have to kind of step out to help you a bit. But if you've got a little more flexibility, you've been doing this for a while, you should be able to just pivot off the ball of your foot, throw the kick, and bring it back. So what I want him to do is throw a couple to the face, bring it back. Again, pay attention to his breathing.
Am I hitting the chin or am I hitting the instep right now?
Just fire. Fire to the head, so you'd probably be kicking with the instep. But listen to the breathing again. It tells you two things again, that you're not holding your breath and you're not hyperventilating. You're expanding your air every time. Now he's going to fire low. If you were to be aiming again, if he stands on this side, and if you were to be kicking to my head, he would probably be hitting with his instep, okay? But if you were to be kicking my thigh, this is where the shin bone would come in and hit, okay? His right hand can either, a lot of people talk about how important this is, how some others say how it's not even important. But I think you get a lot more balance and more power when you bring it down. As long as you bring your other hand up to protect yourself, and if you're leaning back slightly, I should be able to reach him. His leg is longer than my arm, so he should be able to hit me without me worrying about hitting his face. So he should be able to bring his hand down, again. And some people will tell you, well, that's a bad thing, but I just don't see how, because I don't think I've ever been hit while I'm kicking. Not when I'm throwing a long roundhouse. And as long as my rear hand stays up and I lean back, I should be able to still hit. So now, if he's going to do it with his both hands up, if you prefer, again, that's another way. So, but again, we're going to go back to bringing the hand down. Again, we want to hit with more leverage, a little more speed, and the bringing of the hand out, arm down is also going to help with his balance here. So he's going to fire low, he's going to fire high. Good. He's going to fire low. He's going to fire high. So, again, parents, you might want, if you don't have a pad, you might just want to put your hand out this way for low, snap back, and then a little higher for high. That's all you're doing. Those of you that have been around with me longer and you have pads, then you're going to actually hold it. There's two ways. What we're going to do is we're going to hold the focus mitt. Stay on this side. We're going to hold the focus mitt for speed and accuracy, and then we're going to use the tombstone for power. So we're going to show a little bit of both. So right now, if I bring it down to this position, he's going to be quick and bring it back. Again, hit, and bring it back. Hit, So if I ask him to go high, he's going to go up here, snap it back. Another thing is what we missed is that there's two ways. You can also hit and bring it back like he did, or you can hit and follow through, all the way through. That's like a big knockout. That's when you're trying to take somebody's head off. If you're kicking the leg, usually the leg will hold you from being able to spin all the way around. The only time you would probably continue the spin is if you missed and you get back immediately to fighting position. Okay, so we're going to focus again, low, high, snap, hit. Good, he follows through. One more. Hit. That's your rear leg roundhouse. Focus on that. Time.